So what's going on, Raider Nation, and welcome back to another episode of the Raider Critique, where Victory Monday has happened to grace this football team and grace this fan base against the Houston Texans at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada for Week 7 of the NFL season. How is everybody doing? Now, I'm sorry about everything that has gone on, from moving the things around like the chat and whatnot, and I had to end the stream. There is one question I did have to ask, though. Does any of the content creators out there having issues with YouTube Studio deciding to just start recording whenever the fuck it feels like? It's kind of like this football team that they finally start playing good whenever the fuck they feel like. Now, what I would like to do, how we always do, is that we go over here and we go to the damn stats, because the stats pretty much tell all. So I'm gonna tuck this down in here, and then I'm going to move it over like so. So here we are, man. The Raiders won 38-20, and the stats go like this. Derek Carr went 21-27 for 241 yards, 8.9 average, 1 touchdown, no interception. He was sacked once for 5 yards with a quarterback rating of 84.5 with an overall rating of 116.2. Josh Jacobs, 20 carries for 143 yards, averaging 7.2 yards per carry with 3 touchdowns, his longest being 15 yards. DJ Turner showed up also not only in the passing game, but in the rushing game as well. 3 carries for 20 yards at a 6.7 average, 18 being his long. Zamir White, 1 for 2, and Derek Carr, 3 for -1. Devontae Adams was our leading wide receiver with 8 receptions on 9 targets for 95 yards at an 11.9 average, 16 being his long. Hunter Renfrow caught all 3 of his targets for 55 yards at 18.3, 27 being his long. Mac Hollins showed up on 3 targets. He had 2 completions, 44 yards at a 22-yard average, and 1 touchdown. That pass that Derek Carr threw, that dime he threw in between 2 defenders to find Mac Hollins, was absolutely sensational. Foster Moreau, 3 receptions on 5 targets, 28 yards, 9.3 average, 17 being his long. Josh Jacobs also showed up in the passing game with 3 receptions for 12 yards on 4 targets, 5 being his long, and Amir Abdullah, 2 for 7. He also was only targeted twice. Fumbles. Derek Carr had a fumble, but he recovered it. That was a fumbled snap. And then DJ Turner had a fumble. It was also recovered. So we had 2 fumbles, but we recovered them both. Defensively, Divine Diablo led our team in tackles with 11 total, 6 solo, 0 sacks. He had 1 tackle for a loss. Jonathan Abram, 8 total, 6 solo. Deron Harmon, man, 6 total, 5 solo with 1 pass deflection, which actually turned into a touchdown. It was an interception. It was a beautiful pick. Denzel Perryman, 6 total, 5 solo, 2 tackles for a loss. Rocky Sin, 6 tackles, 4 of those were solo. Blake Martinez was in on damn near every run play, though, bro. I will give him that. 4 total, 3 solo. Max Crosby had 4 total, 3 solo, and 1 pass deflection. He hit the quarterback twice. Trayvon Morig had 4 total, 2 solo. He had 1 pass deflection as well. Belial Nickel, he had 4 total, but he also had 3 quarterback hits. So Belial Nichols was getting into the backfield. Amir Abdullah, 3 total, 3 solo. Cleveland Farrell, 3 tackle, 1 solo, got a half a sack, along with the Amber Alert of Chandler Jones, who finally showed up with a half a sack, and he hit the quarterback once. He had 2 total and 1 solo. Jonathan Hankin had 2 total. Andrew Billings had 2 total. Matthias Farley, who actually happened to leave the game with an injury, had 1 total tackle, and that was a solo tackle. Amik Robertson, pretty much the same thing. Brandon Bolden helped somebody tackle somebody, and Kendall Vickers helped tackle somebody, and Darian Butler and Neil Farrell as well. Well, Neil Farrell had one quarterback hit, but that's pretty much what he did. The team had 70 total tackles, with 41 of those being solo. All right, we had 1 sack, 3 tackles for a loss, and 3 pass deflections. So let's go right back over here to OBS, because that's where I would rather be. And we're talking about Deron Harmon and the lone interception that he had. Well, hey, why don't we just watch this? His first career pick six. First career pick six, baby. Look at him go. Look at him go down the damn field. Look at him go. We haven't had a defender do that for us in a long time, but look at old long neck here, man. He was looking down his target the whole time, and Harmon read his eyes. We went right straight through, jumped right in front of that pass, bro. That was something that I really liked seeing, because it has been a long time since we've seen this team commit a turnover and actually score points on that turnover, preferably being a touchdown. Now, if you notice what I've got right here in front of me, this is what they were talking about pretty much right before halftime hit. The Raiders have huge gains on the ground with 183.5 yards a game and 5.9 yards per rush. And we whipped their ass 38-20, and it was all because of Josh Jacobs running 20 attempts for 143 yards at a 7.2 yard average with 3 touchdowns. It says 2 here, but it was 3. I guess, I brain farted that one when I came up with this backdrop. But that was one of the keys to the game. And as you can tell, it's got a green check mark, because obviously Josh Jacobs did his thing, man. And it didn't happen until the second half. What I believe what happened is that we wore down the defense enough to where the run became effective, because in the first half, it was pretty much non-existent. We were plugging away, and Devontae Adams did an excellent job, along with Mac Hollins and Hunter Renfrow, as being a supporting cast for, the second half passing game that we had, because, of course, in the first half, it was non-existent as well. I do believe that our first 3 possessions was punt, and I want to say stall, like we stalled out, or maybe possibly a field goal, but we didn't really get going until the second half of the game. Josh Jacobs is what won us this game, but Deron Harmon was the one who put the final nail in the casket. No joke, when he picked that ball off and took it back, because it was back and forth most of the game, and we pulled away in the fourth quarter, scoring 21 unanswered points, which that's phenomenal from this team. And also, if you noticed that back on the stats, we actually scored in the third quarter. So, at least it wasn't a goose egg, but I definitely want to give it to Deron Harmon back there, who's playing safety for this football team, because the defense, the secondary itself, was being used like yesterday's toilet paper without Nate Hobbs back there. Deron Harmon just happened to be a bright spot in that secondary, especially with Trayvon Moehrig suffering from the injury that he's suffering from right now, which you can absolutely tell that it is affecting his play. What do you guys think about this football team, man? Do you guys think that we can make a run? I would like to believe that we can make a run, especially the last 2 times that this team has played. They have showed tenacity. They've showed that they can stay in these games, and they've also showed that they can keep the lead, which was another thing that I was talking about as well, is keeping the lead once we got it. Now, of course, we only had to keep it for 1 quarter, because we didn't finally gain the lead until the fourth quarter, but we kept our foot on the gas and we kept going. Now, I was watching the game yesterday, and I saw Cleve Farrell in on quite a few plays. He might not have been in the making the tackle, but he was around the ball the whole time. And I bet you that he's probably wondering why we all want him gone. His contract is really high for doing the role that he does, but in all actuality, he's a really good addition to this team, especially since Chandler Jones really hasn't showed up. He, along with Chandler Jones, were the only sack in the game that this defense had yesterday. You know what I'm saying? And they actually did it together. I was just glad to see that this team did not squander the lead like we have in weeks past. But I will say this, we are still running these crazy off-the-wall trick plays. And the first one could have been detrimental to this team if Derek Carr fumbles that ball on that pitch and he doesn't catch it out here. You know, this game could have went, the whole momentum could have changed. Luckily, we didn't lose that play. He wound up throwing it out of bounds or incompleting the pass or something, but we actually didn't end up with any negative yards on that play. But then the second play, from where he pitches it to Josh Jacobs, and then Josh Jacobs turns around and throws it behind him back to Derek Carr as the defense over pursues to catch Jacobs. Because let's be real, the reason why that play worked is because we were running the outside with Jacobs all game long, and it was fucking killing them, and I was loving it. They could not get to the edge fast enough before Josh Jacobs was able to turn that corner, and it's why Josh Jacobs had a great game. We were running him in between the tackles, but his long runs were on those sweeps. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's why that trick play worked. I'll give it that. At least we're starting to see adjustments made by the coaching staff, and they're starting to be able to look at how the game flow is going and adjust on the fly. You know, I actually do see that happening now, which is a good sign. But I'll tell you this, nation. All right? This was a game we were supposed to win. You know what I'm saying? This was a game that was on the record for pretty much everybody, bro. Hey, what's up, chat? I finally got to bring it up now that the show is pretty much coming toward its end, because you already know how I do it on these victories. I don't go very long because there's really nothing to boast about. You know, I can sit here and boast and toot the horn all day long, but hey, we got one win. We're now 2-4. We're actually gaining momentum. Let's see if we can win the next 4 straight. I'm not completely sold on this football team yet. You know what I'm saying? They're going to have to show me more before I'm out here hooting and hollering and running around and parading around and acting like my shit don't stink with my chest puffed out. You know what I'm saying? This team's going to have to show me that they can beat quality teams. Now, in the last 2 times that they've played in the past 3 weeks, they have showed that they are definitely improving. They're starting to get the scheme. Maybe it's finally all starting to come together. I can tell you defensively and coverage-wise on the special teams, we're still hurting. There's still some adjustments that need to be made at those. And, you know, there's going to have to be some things done. Whether the terminology is going to have to be simplified. You know, Patrick Graham could have, honestly, Patrick Graham could honestly, you know, be making this too difficult for him. But I can tell you this, hey, the defense only gave up 20 points. It wasn't 24, you know. But hey, it's all good, man. We finally got this win, and we did it. I mean, the team's not really, the team that we played is not very good. Like I was saying before, Davis Mills looked great out there on that defense. So what happens when we actually go against a good quarterback? You know? We've got some things to tighten up, but it does feel good to finally come on a win after the bye week, which it's been a while, Raiders. It's been a while since the Raiders have been able to do that. That is for sure, bro. That is for sure. So who do I got over here in the chat, man? I've got Dirty Low, Owls Go, Circus Raider, Fade to Black, what's up, man? And Apakasi, hey, it is good seeing all of you here. Salute to all of you. Thank you for stopping by the Raider Critique, because this is your post-game review made by the nation, for the Raider Nation. No strings attached, man. Just giving it like I see it. And I see a lot of people out here. I've got a different take on what a lot of people are saying out here, but I mean, pretty much, we did what we had to do to win this game, but it's not like we should have lost this game. Now, if we would have lost this game, the season would have been down the toilet. That is 100% sure. You know what I'm saying? So at least we have survived one more week. And I believe that we have... Who's on the schedule next? Is it Jacksonville? That we have to... Or no, New Orleans. We got New Orleans, and then I believe Jacksonville after that. And New Orleans has been playing, you know, they're in and out. You know what I'm saying? We'll get into that pregame, you know, by Saturday. We'll get into that pregame after I go and do a little bit of research. I know Taysom Hill has been doing pretty damn well playing quarterback and tight end. You know what I mean? So, and I think they've got, is it Andy Dalton? Is Andy Dalton the quarterback of the Saints? Who's the quarterback of the Saints? Man, see, I need to go look them up, man, because I have no idea who the fuck's playing what over there. I know I had Mark Ingram for my fantasy team for a couple weeks, and I got rid of him. Because he didn't do shit. So can anybody answer that for me? Who the hell's the Saints starting quarterback? It's not Jameis Winston, right? Jameis Winston's on the bench. Either way, I can tell you this, man. It feels good to win, but there's still a lot more work to do. And if we're going to give out game balls, look, Derek Carr doesn't look like 150% like he was last year, real gung-ho, but he's doing enough to get the job done. It's Andy Dalton. Fuck yeah, dude. Bring on fucking the Red Rocket. Bring that motherfucker on. That will definitely be a good tune-up game for this secondary, because Andy does like to throw a lot of interceptions. All right, good. So, and, you know, I don't really know their wide receivers. Hell, I really don't know anybody on the Saints team. They've done, ever since Drew Brees took off, I know they've had like 5 or 6 starting quarterbacks. So, and Raider Nation, we kind of know how that feels, man. Before Derek Carr was here, we were going through quarterback after quarterback after quarterback. I think we had 14 starting quarterbacks at one time. And that was like through the past 10 years, or, you know, during those 10 years before Derek Carr ever got here. So, you know, at least, you know, we kind of know what that's like. It could take a minute for the Saints to rebuild, but then again, you know, like I was saying, just like the Texans, the Saints aren't built to deal with this team neither. So, you know, I'm calling for a win against the Saints too. I think we can beat them in their own stadium, in their own state. You know what I mean? Because I think that we are a more talented football team. That is for sure. We definitely proved that we are the more talented football team against these Texans. But, man, at the very beginning, they sure did have me worried. I'm not going to bullshit about that. Now, if you guys haven't noticed, I actually made new victory music, is what I'm calling it, for the background music of this video. You'll be hearing victim, victim, victim every single time we win. So hopefully we're going to be hearing that song a lot more here within the, you know, down the road through the season. And, you know, just hopefully this team doesn't let us down. I know that I'm not going to put all of my eggs in one basket. It is one win. But there are some things that need to be tightened up. Our offense looks pretty good without Darren Waller. But, man, it would probably look a whole hell of a lot better with Darren Waller in there. especially if he comes in with the right attitude. What's going on, Raider Joe? Thanks for stopping in, man. But, I mean, that's pretty much all I got, nation. Hey, enjoy this victory, but the job's not done yet. Now we got to go to New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? We got to go to New Orleans. We got to put a whopping on these Aints. That is for sure. So I'm going to be coming out with a pregame video. More than likely, it's going to drop Saturday morning. I like the Saturday morning kind of thing. I think it works out really well. So Saturday morning, 10 o'clock Central Standard Time is when I'm going to go ahead and drop the pregame. But I can tell you this, man. That's when we'll talk about these Saints. And honestly, you know, I'm going to go and do a little bit of research, see who's on their team, see where their defense and their offense is ranked. And, you know, come out with a good pregame video for the next one. So anyway, I do appreciate all of y'all, man, for stopping in and giving your brother some support. If you are not subscribed here, hey, it doesn't hurt to go down there and hit that little red button, man, and hit that bell for notifications, because I do 2 videos a week. A pregame and a postgame during the season, and then pretty much as the news comes in through the off season. So anyway, I appreciate every single one of y'all for coming here, man. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't do this show. You know what I mean? And it's because of guys and gals just like y'all, man, who support this team just like I do, and you come in here and you like my content, you watch everything that I'm doing. I appreciate every single one of y'all, and I couldn't have asked for a much better family to be a part of. And that's no joke. And man, I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate all the kind words and whatnot, but hey, we gotta fucking win, baby! We gotta fucking win, and hopefully I can fucking be more excited later on down through the year, because we're gonna be getting more wins. You know what I mean? And hopefully punching our ticket into the playoffs. I would like a shot at those Bills, and I definitely can't wait to get another shot at those Chiefs, because I believe that if we keep playing like this, we should be able to beat them. We just gotta play all 4 quarters. You know what I mean? We're lucky that we even won this damn game, because we didn't play all 4 quarters. But we did enough to win, but we're not going to escape every game like that. So we've got to put it all together. You know what I'm saying? And if we do put it all together and we get those 2 more wins, we'll be at 500. So, and hey, Chokers lost yesterday, didn't they? You know what I'm saying? The Donkeys are a fucking dumpster fire. And, you know, I mean, again, it's us and the Chiefs. We just got to get the hell up there, because, look, the Chargers are going to fizzle out. We already know. That's what they do every year. You know what I mean? That's what they do every year. And they fall apart every year. So, I mean, in all actuality, I'm not worried about the Chargers. Let's get this team to where we can compete with the Chiefs. We've got to beat them, but man, we're going to have to start gaining momentum. You know what I'm saying? We got to start gaining momentum. And getting this, you know, we got to get these W's. You know what I mean? Because if not, it's just, we're going to be to the point to where that this team is not everything that they said they were, and I refuse to believe that with the talent on this football team. Now, I gave an F grade to the special teams last video. I want to change that to a D, because at least Daniel Carlson and AJ Cole are doing their job. You know what I'm saying? Now, the coverage team, I don't know about that. That's why they get a D. So I'll give them a D instead of an F, and defense definitely is, I would give them a C plus after that pick 6. But other than that, we really have got to tighten up. We've got to shorten the field when it comes to defense. We got to get off the field on those 3rd downs. You know what I mean? I see this defense giving up way too many 3rd down conversions. That's for sure. But this was supposed to be the number 1 red zone defense in the league. And the Raiders went 3 for 3 in the red zone, so there's another improvement. See, that's what I like to see, bro. is improvement. And we're improving, at least we are improving in the red zone. You know what I mean? Now, defensively, we could definitely improve in the red zone some more. Offensively, I think we're getting it. You know, I think we're starting to figure out our identity. Give Josh Jacobs the goddamn ball. That is for real. That's what we need to do. That's what we need to do. We get in the red zone, feed Josh Jacobs. Let him go. You know what I mean? Just cut him loose. But no joke, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and hop on out of here. Now, I've got a little extra added addition that I added to the outro. So go ahead and watch the whole outro. I think all of y'all will appreciate it. And you guys need to go over to Chiseled Adonis and subscribe to his channel if you are not already, because that dude is fucking hilarious. And I got this from him. So, and you know, hey, I got to give him a shout out, because I'm not going to steal his stuff and then sit there and not give him props on it, because, man, with what he did and what he uses and what he made, hey, it's absolutely hilarious. So anyway, Raider Nation, until Saturday when we go over the pregame review, salute to all of you. I hope all of you have a wonderful week. Stay safe. Be kind to one another, man. Go watch your homeboys and your homegirls on the YouTubes. Go puff your chest out a little bit at work, because the Raiders did get this dub this week. But understand, we got to go and do it again and again and again and again and keep going until we make our spot into the playoffs. Like I always say, Raider Nation, it's Raider Nation for life.
Coach Country, let's rock. Coach Country, let's rock. Coach Country, let's rock. Coach Country.